Good afternoon. Welcome to Belloheart today, and thank you for tuning in. Today, I wanted to talk about some spiritual stuff because when I started Belloheart last year, that was really my goal, was to spread spirituality, positivity, truth. Now, the truth led me to Trump and the establishment versus the establishment politicians and our deep state and all that stuff, trying to controlling us. However, before all that happened, I did go on a spiritual awakening. And as I sit here dwelling on my life, unemployed again, income dwindling, and everything up in the air, I'm reflecting on my life's choices. Throughout my life, I've always given 100%. I worked at UPS for 12 years, which is amazing, right? I was let go because my boss was cheating. I even tried to blow the whistle on him, and they ignored me. So they used me as the fall guy since I was easy to let go. So instead of fighting them, I decided to find another job in a similar field. But when I was let go, I went through a spiritual awakening at that time. Since then, my life has never been the same. During this period, I researched about consciousness on Gaia. Gaia is a streaming service, the greater meanings of life, God, the universe. I started daily meditations, which I still do today. Part of this journey is learning the truths to existence. It's the realization that we're all expressions of God having a human experience. What is the human experience? Well, that's an interesting question, isn't it? Human experience is trauma lessons, basically. This is the biggest realization I had when I was first learning about our purpose of being here in the first place. Why are we here? That's one of the $1 million questions, isn't it? Well, our purpose is to evolve our consciousness, similar to how Jesus ben Joseph, also known as Jesus Christ, did it while with his time on earth. Christ consciousness, which is love manifested. Okay, so the human brain, human mindset has God consciousness, divine consciousness, and ego consciousness, right? What is the ego? The ego is a human mind's way of protecting itself. You've heard of egotistical people, right? Ensuring our human life survives at all costs. You can think of ego as a selfish human purpose that you're making decisions only about yourself and how to make your own life better in spite of others. Then you're thinking in an egotistical mindset, right? Makes sense. Egoic mindset, when you extrapolate that out to its most extreme cases, is where you get evil, right? Evil people are the ultimate egomaniacs. Think about it. They put themselves and their needs above everything else, including human lives, right? They are the puppet masters and the leaders who promote war division just to keep control. The ultimate egomaniacs, right? The evilest people in the world, right? Think about it. They put themselves and their own needs above everything, including human lives, right? These are the people, the puppet masters, and the leaders who promote war, division, etc., just to keep control over money and power. Putting money before people is along these lines as well. Along with the egoic mind is the negative emotional characteristics, right? Because so when you take your ego and you extrapolate, think about it being the most selfish person in the world, right? And that's where we're at. But these emotional characteristics, the negative emotional characteristics, are as follows. The lowest vibrational frequency is shame, then guilt, then apathy, then grief, then fear or worry, then desire, and finally anger. All these emotions trigger negative mindsets and lead us to a path of the ego. The key is learning how to recognize when these things are happening, learn why, and then how to transmute them, meaning turn them from negative emotion, negative mindset to a positive mindset. Because even negativity has a purpose and and if you look at it the right way, it could be positive, right? You will still get angry, but instead of letting that anger control you, you'll learn to master it. Learning how to put others above yourself is the path to love, Christ consciousness, and unity. Another name for this is the law of one. The positive mindset sounds easy. Well, it isn't. The hardest part is learning how to keep this mindset when your egoic emotions is learning how to keep this mindset when your egoic emotions in check when they try to take control. For instance, when you lose your job, you get caught up feeling bad for yourself, like I am right now. I'm lost my job, so I am in the middle of a period of where I'm being tested through trauma, right? Losing my job, ultimately affecting my income, which is affecting my family. And so now I can get very negative, right? And I can go down a very negative path. I could, you know, become an alcoholic, start drinking, or, start thinking about my own happiness. I mean, my own, just do things to make myself feel better, regardless of what my family is doing, just because I'm so negative about my losing my job, right? So you get caught up feeling bad for yourself, playing the victim, like I just said, and blame everyone for why. You'll get angry and eventually you'll get angry at the people who maybe you lost your job, why you lost your job, who fired you, your company, and eventually that can lead to shame, right? Because you lost your job, you don't have a job, so you feel worthless. You don't have a purpose, so you feel you're letting people down, right? Which can lead to substance abuse, ultimately negatively affecting other people because of your selfish behavior. This is all an example of ego or selfish behavior. Yes, that is one way to handle losing a job. Or you can look at it as a chance, the positive way, right? Mindset. Look at it as a new beginning. Believe that you'll be taken care of by God because you're a good person. Whatever you call God, source energy, you know, the creator. There's many names. And believe whatever's happening to you is a trauma lesson, right? You're learning how to deal with trauma in your life, right? So why am I going through the period I'm going through? Who knows? Probably to get me onto a new path, change things in my life, maybe my family's life. Who knows? But the key is to stay positive and to not let the negativity take a hold of you, right? It's not easy. It's very hard. For me, I have to meditate to do this, right? So for me, I have to now how to get your mind quiet enough to be able to feel the signs of your negativity coming on and transmuting it by meditating and breathing while thinking of why those emotions are actually happening, right? So when you start to get to feel those feelings of anger, worry, fear, doubt, close your eyes, take some deep breaths, right? Focus on the breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Right? You do this over. So now you're thinking while you're meditating, you're trying to think about, okay, why do I feel this way? All right, I'm angry because I lost my job. Okay, now should I start pointing fingers at people, play the victim, get upset, or should I just stay positive, keep my family positive, do positive activities, right? Still working out, still going for walks, still taking the dog out. Don't let yourself get caught up in those negative emotions, right? Because then you're going to get caught. So you have to recognize it. When you quiet your mind enough, you can catch yourself and you can figure out what's causing those emotions, what is triggering them in myself, and you could even avoid those triggers, right? And you could even recognize those triggers as they're happening. You can take a deep breath, walk away, right? Learn how to master your emotions, right? That's what they call them, being a master, right? This is working towards mastery of your human ego, which will raise your consciousness and lead you to true happiness. Okay, the first step is meditation. Okay, now meditation is, for some people, is a bad word or a hard word to get their head around, because I was the same way. I never thought I would be able to meditate, and then I started to try, and little by little, I started with 1 minute at a time, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, but you got to be dedicated. You just give one couple times a day, maybe in the beginning, once a day, whatever. Sit down. I like to put my feet in the grass, close my eyes, and just focus on my breath, like I was doing before. Just focus on the air going through your nose, coming out through your mouth. If you do that, and of course, thoughts are going to seep into your mind as it's happening, right? But that doesn't mean you should get distracted or you should let that affect. Oh no, I had a thought. That's it. Meditation's over. No, it doesn't mean anything. We all have thoughts. You let the thoughts sit there. Big deal. Okay, I had a thought. Have to go shopping tomorrow. I'll have to buy this. Okay, good. Focus on the breath. And do that a couple times a day. Take a few deep breaths. Always go back to the breath. And then once you start doing that, you'll start to realize that meditating is not impossible. And that'll help you get the confidence to keep going further. And then you can start looking up apps. There's tons of YouTube videos for free. There's also tons of apps you can pay for that help you meditate. There's a million of them, and little by little you start taking control of your own happiness, your own emotional range, where you don't let yourself be completely controlled by all the stuff that's happening in your life, where instead of you play the victim, you start to take control of yourself. And it's actually very empowering. And it will change your whole life, change the way you look at life, the way you look at everything, honestly. Now, it does take work though. You got to be dedicated. Okay. So I've been meditating now for 2 years, and it has been amazing. Now, my life isn't going fantastic as far as the human, my money, employment, things like that. But as far as my happiness, my emotional state, I'm able to keep it in check. You know what I'm saying? Which is very important, especially at times of stress and things that are happening in the world. And this is time where a lot of things are happening. So, say some prayers for the hurricane victims coming in. Hurricane Milton, the hurricane that's bearing down in Florida, and also for all the hurricane victims currently in distressed for Hurricane Helene. There's a lot going on. The election is not far away in America, which is causing, I think, a lot of craziness on TV with the media, a lot of distractions, a lot of ulterior agendas out there for other people, for the puppet masters in this world. But you can't let yourself get distracted. You still have to take control. If things are stressing you out, walk away, turn it off, take some deep breaths, go sit and breathe. Thank you for tuning in to Belloheart. Hope you enjoyed this spiritual discussion, and there should be more to come. Comment below if you liked it. Thanks. Have a good day.